So this is for exercise 1.14. We were learning about order of operation. When we were learning order of operations, you need to understand that first we need to use a rule called the bit-mus rule, whereby we do the brackets first, then we do the indices, then we divide and multiply, and then we add and subtract. So these are the arrangement of things that we're supposed to do. So we have to look at which one is the smallest bracket first, and then we solve it later on. So let's have an operation, or we have a question to solve it. So for instance, if we have an arrangement like this, question number 1, 7 multiplied by 4 plus 1. So as you can see, there's one thing that you need to do first, which is the bracket. So we need to go through the bit-mus rule from top to bottom. Is there a bracket? First question is whether there's a bracket or not. Well, there are brackets here, so we need to solve whatever that is inside the bracket first. We just need to focus here. We don't need to look at anything else anymore. So the focus will be inside the bracket. It doesn't matter if it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, index, or whatsoever. We need to focus what's in the bracket. So we just solve this thing first. So once we solve this, then we rewrite the sentence. 7 multiplied by 4 plus 5. Then it is 9, and we leave it as it is. And then we check. Do we have any indices here? No. Do we have any division here? No. Then we go to the next one, multiplication. Yes. So we solve the multiplication. 7 times 9, we get 60. All right, cool. This is one of the ways. So let's look at something a little bit more complex. Let's look at number 2. We have 10 minus 5 multiplied by 4 plus 7. So what do we do here? Same thing, we go through the whole bit-mus rule or bit-mus rule again. First thing, brackets. Okay, focus on the brackets. Only solve what's inside the bracket first, if you can. If you cannot, then move on to the next one. So we do this first, and here we will get the answer. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 plus 7 is 11. So the very important thing is that you write out your working. So is there any indices? No. Division? No. Multiplication? Yes. Solve this. 5 times 11, you get the answer 55. Okay, let's go a little bit difficult. Let's look at number 3. A value that looks like this, 45 minus. Okay, this is a bigger bracket. So sometimes when there are two brackets, we need to have a big one. 20 multiplied by 4 minus 3. So look at the brackets first. Okay, now there are 2 levels of bracket that we need to do. So look at this one first, then only this one, then only this one. So this is how our steps are going to look like. So this is the first step, second step, third step. So do the first step here. So this thing will get us a value of, put down 4 minus 3, 1. Then we bring out the brackets, bring down all the other values that we didn't touch. Next, 20 times 1. So now this is the next one that we need to solve. 20. Okay, when we have this, although immediately if I remove the bracket, it will be a negative 20, but you have to understand that something happening here. It is actually inside here. This one here is actually a negative 1 multiplied by this. So this thing is actually, the meaning of it is actually negative 1 multiplied by 20. Because sometimes we write it like this when there's a multiplication, we just write it beside the bracket. So negative 1 times 20 is negative 20. This is how you get negative 20. It's not that I just remove the bracket and naturally the negative goes beside it. No, it's not like that. It is actually a multiplication happening there. And then at the end, we do this subtraction here. We get 25. This is our answer. All right. So this one actually shows you only the subtraction, multiplication, addition, and the bracket. What if there's indices involved? So let's try. 3, question number 4, plus 8 minus 2 squared. Okay, what do we do here? So we need to make sure that we follow the Bodmer's or Widmer's rule, do the bracket first. What's inside the bracket? So the inside here, this is what we're going to do. The content is going to change. 8 minus 2 is 6. And the square remains there, and the plus and the 3. Don't change anything else. Do not do more than one thing at a time. Now, we need to follow the next thing. After the bracket, we have a index to solve, or indices to solve, which is this, 6 squared. So don't plus first, because we are following the Widmer's rule. Now we are step 1 done. Now we are step 2 here. We need to do this, indices first. 6 squared is 36. Then let's look at anything else. Division, no. Multiplication, no. Addition, yes. So we do addition. Very important to follow the rule. You cannot say that I don't want to follow. Okay, what if I add something here? Let's just say we have a 4 advanced version. Okay. 3 plus 2, 8 minus 2 squared. Now we have to do things one at a time. We do things in the bracket first. 8 minus 2, 6 square 2 plus 3. Okay, what happens here? So now we need to do our Widmer's rule. Bracket done. So cancel off. Now the next one, because like I said, here was a multiplication. It's supposed to be a multiplication, but are we doing multiplication first? No, we're not. We're doing index next. So we need to do this one first. So 3 plus. You can just leave it in the bracket to make it nicer. 36. Now, now we're done with this. We have a division. No, we don't. Next one will be multiplication instead of addition. Multiplication first. So 2 times 36. Then we only add them as usual, then we get our answer. All right. Okay. Yeah. The index also involves your square root. So for example, if we have a question that looks like this. So we are supposed to solve whatever is inside. This is actually considered to be in a bracket. So it's actually in a bracket. This is actually in a bracket. Okay, so they don't write the bracket, but it's covered under a bracket. So you need to make sure that it is solved first. So you get 9 here plus 64 here. Then we can solve it. Square root, which is the next one, pi. It is done. Now we need to do the index. Index will be the power. So square root of 9 is 3 plus square root of 64 is 8. So we add them together. This is done. Addition. That 11 is the answer.